goosebumps every time, yeah, 713. Through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key and honest, flying rider. I get those goosebumps every time. I'm coming around, yeah. Things I'm on, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those clowns.
The duties with fair and Premier. Newcastle United.
I get those goosebumps every time. I need the high, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, we can throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
Up the mugs. Yes, sir.
Yes!
Get there.
Get
Get
in.
in.
Everybody. Boys, it's like I only saw you this morning. How's it going?
Yeah. We don't have to. We
Welcome.
don't have to go around do the round robin as much, really, do we? Because we literally saw each other 12 hours ago. It was in fact 12 hours ago. We were in the foyer of the Sandman, weren't we? Exactly 12 hours ago.
We sure were. But this is Loaded Mag NUFC, and this is a reaction show to a few different things. This is a mixed bag, really, because a reaction show to the Charity game, obviously, and the victory there, and also a reaction to our victory over Man United, which we were at live, so we can give you another perspective of it as well, and maybe some of you were at it as well. So get your thoughts and comments in the chat. Smash that like button as well. But let us get into it. So let's get going. So yes, as you said, Chris, we'll cut that segment out. That's probably people's favorite bit. We'll cut that out. We know how each other are, apart from what happened in the last 12 hours. Right, let's go. Let's get into it. First of all, boys, we want to give a shout out to Eddie Howe, because the club have announced the story now with Eddie Howe, and he was diagnosed with pneumonia. So, but he's on the road to recovery, and JT Mad Dog and Graeme Jones will lead the team out against Palace and Villa this week. So, but good to get an update, and he's making some good progress there, and he thanks everyone in the statement. I won't read it out. It's there. You can pause it and read it out to yourself if you wish. But yeah, Mad Dog was in charge on Sunday, yesterday. So yeah, and he didn't do a bad job. Not a bad job at all. But before we get into that, something else that we need to talk about, and it's this charity game. The charity game that took place on Saturday. People probably know the outcome now, but anyone have any clues for the listeners? You're on mute, Pete.
What's this here? I'll just put that in there for a second. But what I will do is just take it off the screen and make sure there's no.
Oh, in all its glory.
There we go. Look at that. Is it glitz? Looks like
It's shining.
Look at that.
Did you get the polish on that?
No polish needed. No polish needed. But look, I'll just sit it there. I'll just sit it there so we can see it.
In fairness, Johnny did take good care of it for us, but it's ours now, Johnny, and you're not getting it back.
Absolutely. Get
right.
in there. Come on.
Let's talk a bit about the charity game, and of course, it's a charity game. In the end, the real winner is a charity, and it was for autism. And thanks to everyone that donated. The link is still in the chat. It's still possible to donate. I think I glanced at it, and there's like 745 pounds. I think is in there already. So that's absolutely amazing. Every year people surprise us with donations towards the chosen charity, and of course this is our third year doing it, and it's been absolutely amazing. But let's talk about the game as well. Let's talk a bit about the game. So of course we arrived in all our glory there at St. James's Park on Saturday, and we met up before the game, before we made our way to the Newcastle United Foundation. And boys, I want to get your opinion on the game. You actually played it. I couldn't play. I'm carrying an injury. As I proved to the boys, and I wasn't just making it up, but I had the injury on my knee. But Chris, I'll go to you first. Your perspective on the game.
So I was really pleased. I was really pleased with how the game went. Personally, I felt like it wasn't my best game, but equally, I felt I made a contribution to it, and that was the important thing. But the main thing was, that we got the win, and I've got to give two huge. In fact, I'm going to give three shout outs. So the first one, obviously, going to the main man down there who was banging all the goals in. He's got to get a mention because he scored some fantastic goals. I also want to give a shout out to our goalie Jordan, who was absolutely brilliant. Jordan from Geordie Journos. He made some huge saves. But I also, and we spoke about this, didn't we, on the way home or the way back to the hotel. Big shout out to Liam Kennedy as well. Liam Kennedy, I think he was the unsung hero at the back four as he was playing centre back. You'll see Liam there in the bottom left, with his hand raised aloft. But yeah, Liam had a fantastic game as well. All the boys. To be fair, to a man, we all did a job, and it was a very much a team collective. And I think a bit like Newcastle recently, the nice thing about it was when the whistle went, I just thought we deserved that. It wasn't one of those where you go, we got a bit lucky. I think over the course of the two halves, we fully deserved it. So yeah, I was just delighted because we couldn't have Newcastle Fans TV win the 3 years on the bounce. We just couldn't. And me and Pete had a little pep talk to each other on the walk up to the Newcastle Foundation, and we were like, we're going to do this today. We're doing this today. So no, great. As you rightly said, Daz, the main thing was obviously raising as much money as we could for charity, which we did as a collective. The two podcasts, and that was absolutely brilliant. And thank you very much to everyone who has donated. And as Daz rightly says, that it's still open for donation. So if you haven't already and you are able to, please do so. But yeah, absolutely brilliant and great day out. The weather was fantastic. The weekend was fantastic. So no, it was brilliant. So that was my perspective from the game. Really, really enjoyed it, and just glad that we brought the trophy home.
Cool, Chris. As you pointed out, the link is in the chat for anyone that does want to donate just via the Just Giving link. Also, before I get Pete's perspective as well, and I know you did yourself a disservice there, Chris, because you were fairly good yourself. You scored when I think you assisted a few as well, so you didn't do too badly at all. Maybe someone else came away with the match ball, but no, you ran them close in fairness. And look, all the lads on our team did absolutely exceptional. Even the newbies in Joe and Josh, yes, did excellent as well. But I'm still going to go to Pete in a sec, but also shout out to the Newcastle Fans TV crew. Again, they put in a massive effort, and again, no sorry losers or anything like that. We all went for a drink in the pub afterwards together and had a bit of crack. And that's what it's all really about. Like we're all Newcastle fans at the end of the day. Well, apart from Joe. Joe's a Middlesbrough fan.
Oh,
yeah, Joe's a Middlesbrough fan. Yeah.
He's a small thing, Joe. He did good, Joe.
Not Joe, not Kenja Joe. Before he's played.
No.
The Joe. Pete, I want to get your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, look, there was a little bit of like sort of Chris has alluded to it. We were walking up to the foundation. We were kind of talking about the game, and there's a little bit of sort of like excitement, stroke nervousness about it, but just because. Obviously, we lost the last two, or the first one's a little bit suspect for obvious reasons. But certainly the last one, we didn't do ourselves justice, and we wanted to make sure that we did ourselves justice, that we had a good performance. And You know what? Thinking back now, we were never going to be denied right from the start. I thought we started well. Even though we went 1-0 down, we were playing the better football at the time. It almost caught us off guard when they scored. And then, you've talked about everyone on the team I thought was excellent, really good in their own right. Dom scored the superb equaliser to put us back in the game, playing some really good stuff, and actually could have had 5 or 6 himself had Johnny not made a string of brilliant saves to keep him out. Yeah, both goalkeepers were absolute. I refer to them as heroes. Both goalkeepers were absolute heroes in both goals. Really good level of quality there. But I thought we deserved it, boys. I thought we played some really good football at times. We kept the ball nicely. We had a style of play. The movement in the organization, I think, is what won us the game. The fact that we're willing to talk to each other, tell each other where to be, was great, and we scored some good goals. We scored some really good goals. And look, you go through the team, and you talk about obviously Liam was excellent. Did a great job on Nick, but when Liam wasn't there, I thought Josh was absolutely superb as a defender alongside Liam in there. So really solid. Joe just ran all day. I think Liam said that Joe's a runner; he'll run all day for you, and you kind of like, oh, okay, but he actually did. He just runs. He just didn't stop running. Like whenever he was on the pitch, I thought Adam P was good. He scored a good goal, but on top of that, he made some crucial blocks late on in the game, like where they had a free shot and he's just come out from nowhere and just kind of made it like a crucial block at a crucial time, particularly in the second half. So he's had a big contribution there as well. Dom, for obvious reasons, attacking wise, created a lot of opportunities. Yourself, Chris, me and you made some good connections in the first and second half. You assisted me. I think I assisted you. So if I do a handshake now, we would.
Hey, Pete, that first half as well. I watched the video. For anyone who hasn't watched it, the highlights are on Newcastle Fans TV. Have a little watch of it. In that first half, there was a move, Pete. It was from me to you, and then you to, I'm sure it was Dom. And if that goal was gone in, it was a lovely move. It was a lovely move. It really was. But yeah, didn't.
Do you want to see one goal?
Yes.
Would you like to see one goal?
Yes.
Let's play about that.
Let's see it.
One goal here from a different angle now than you might have seen on Newcastle Fans TV. So it's something new. Let's watch it and then talk us through it.
There it is.
What goal number was that, Pete?
I think that was the third.
That was the hat-trick one.
No, I think that was the second half.
Yeah, that was the second. It was the 7th, but it was my third.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But yeah, great. Outside of the football from Josh there, he just alluded to players outside the boom. 6 aside, there's no offsides. It's all about this. Play the percentages, Clon lad. Come on. It makes sense. Never offside. Great finish. Nothing Johnny could do about that. But no, we played some really good football. And to be fair, Johnny did say afterwards, he said, we fully deserve to win that. And rightly so. So, this trophy is here. Someone's asked the question. Is it on the head? It is now. We did it.
You may see more of this trophy throughout the next year, and especially if Johnny comes and joins us. So there it is. There's that bad boy. Right. No, of course it didn't. You know that movie, The Hangover, lads, where it just at the very end there's like a montage of what actually happened. They can't remember. We've got one of them. Do you want to see a bit of a slideshow?
Oh yeah.
We don't have a video. No. I've only been home about an hour and a half, so no. Here's a few pictures for the viewers that may not have seen it on Monday. And I'm in contention for manager of the month as well, by the way, boys.
Yes. Very well managed, Daz. Very well managed.
There's only 300 in contention, Daz, for manager of the month. It's Eddie Howe, Jason Tindall, and he does loaded.
That
Oh,
shot.
I'd give it to JT.
That's
JT deserves it more than me. Right, here's a few more other picks as we hit the town, and we had to bring the trophy on a bit of a tour of Newcastle. So we did. Give the horse a drink from the cup, of course. Why not? Why not? We had to have a sip of it ourselves then, of course. Yes, then after a long night out partying, we had to call it a night.
I'm still thinking about. Oh my god, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Credit to Keisha. How she put up with us all weekend. So shout out to Keisha. Prawn cracker girl, Keisha.
You know what? It was like, it's so funny on the drive back. It's like every so often, like either me or Kay should just be like just breaking out in just fits of laughter just from random stuff that was happening over the weekend. She should get every so often, and this is gonna live with me forever now. Every so often, she just started laughing and said, "Loaded dreams."
Yes. Load of Dreams was the one that we could put up to accompany that picture. There was plenty that we couldn't attach to that picture, and people are making their own up on Twitter now. I see as well. So interesting stuff. But okay, we'll move away. We'll move away from charity game because people want to know more about our trip to Newcastle. Because even before we get to that Man United game, we were going to want to because we met so many people on the way, and I'm going to give a shout out to this man first. And he's probably when he doesn't always get to watch live, but he listens back, and he'll be on the pump when they're on the gym when he's listening to this. And it's our man Keith Patterson. There he is. We can't tell you where we met him. That is a top secret. That didn't give it away there. May well do. But So Mr. Keith Patterson, he only wrote one letter. But he'll be pumping it away now in the gym. Listen to this, no doubt. And of course, we did meet up with Keith after that as well in the pub, and loads of other lads as well. Shout out to everyone we met on the day there. But that is not Sports Direct. What would we be doing in Sports Direct? What would Keith Patterson be doing in Sports Direct? So don't even go there. Right. We also met. Shout out to Andre and the Bulgarian mags. We met a few of the crew there just as we were coming out of the hotel, actually. And we met the Icelandic mags. Shout out to the Icelandic mags as well. We don't have a picture. They have a picture of us. We don't have a picture of them, but we say we give them a shout out as well. We met Nico Davidas. We met Davidas.
Nicholas Davidas. Yeah.
And the guy that gave us a shout out from the car as well. I love you guys. I love you, loaded guys. Shout out. And of course, do you know what I share Rob Lee at the game? We met. So I passed by him, but you saw Pete Parchino, James Parch as well was there. But no, let's move on. Let's get it.
Hold on. Paulie D.
Paul. Oh yes.
Yeah, Paul Dummy. Paul Dummy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Paulie D. How did you mention it? He just randomly bumped into Paulie D. Get to him, Paulie D.
Class. Lovely fella as well. Lovely fella.
Chris, but that's not the full story. Tell us first where you were when you met him.
So I went down to go outside for 5 minutes.
In St. James's Park.
In St. James's Park. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want me to say what I said? So I goes outside to have a quick cig, then come back in. And obviously I walked towards the escalator, and I was like, that looks like Paul Dummy. So I went over, and I was like, hi, Paul, how you doing? And that. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm all right. And I said, I take it you're here for the game. Bearing in mind, it was 10 minutes away from kickoff. And he was like, yeah. He said, I've got a ticket for me mate. He said, I'm waiting for me mate. And I was like, oh, right, yeah. And I walked away, and I was like, are you here for the game? And then anyway, I thought, you know what? I need to go and get a picture of him. So I went back and I went, Paul, can I have a quick selfie with you? And he was like, yeah, of course you can. And as I say, really, really nice guy. So pleasure to meet him. We bumped into so many people, didn't we? And it was all on the off chance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, Lisa, who's in the chat as well, our Serena Taylor for the day, taking
Yeah.
snaps for us. So
Yeah,
cheers to that, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Nice one.
Where were you on
Thank you
Sunday, though? Hey, where were you on Sunday?
Yeah.
When we were gonna go out having a few. Come on.
In fairness, it wouldn't have ended well, Lisa. No.
I'm glad you
Made the
flashed
right
that picture up and not the other one.
Yes, I know. I was going to picture. No, we better not do that. Right. Let's move on. Let's get into the game. Because along with us wearing shades, another person knew, and that is J7. He knew what was coming. Man United didn't know what hit them, but it was J7. But yeah, and I'm not even going to go through and ask you about the team news, lads, because if you already got the team news, if you watched the way it is, as always, it's nearly all on the money. So that was the team news. Of course, the big one was Eddie Howe not being able to go. And I'm not going to go through all the game because I have no notes or anything like that. I'm just going to jump to each of the goals and we can talk about them. So let's first start with Sandro's goal, which, if I remember, is knocked down from Isaac and Sandro took it on the volley, put it in the back of some goal from Sandro, and what minute it was. I have no idea what minute of the match it was. It was definitely in the first half. But thoughts on Sandro's goal, boys?
Yeah, do you know what? Obviously, loved being there, loved being in the moment, loved celebrating the goal. But I must admit, I didn't realise how good the goal was until I watched it back. It's absolutely sublime. It's absolutely sublime. Obviously, I was going mental with you boys when it went in, and at the time, obviously, it was in the opposite end. It looked decent, but when I watched it back, I was just like, wow. Ball gets put in by Trippier, doesn't it? Isaac takes a left foot touch, bounces the ball up, then floats it over with his right. And then Sandro's there just to volley it. It was such a good goal, such a well worked goal. Man United had no chance. So yeah, 1-0 up, and I'll be honest, boys. I thought we were going to get another before half time as well, because up to that point, I wouldn't say it was even. I think we were still ahead, but it was far closer at that point than what it was in the second half, which I'm sure we'll talk about shortly. But yeah, it was. We deserved to be in the lead, and I did actually think we'd get a second before half time. But yeah, it was a great goal, absolutely great goal, and made up for Sandro. And I think at that point, boys, we started to get a little bit excited for Keith Patterson. Keith had shared with us before the game his bet that he'd done, and he'd done Newcastle to win 6-1 and Sandro to score the first goal. So at that point, we were all like, "Ooh, where's this going? Where's this going?"
Wasn't to be in the end though, but yeah, it was looking good for a while there.
Yeah.
Pete, thoughts on Sandro's goal?
Sensational, absolutely sensational, outstanding. Whatever word you wanted to describe it, it was superb. Like, it's so good. Such a top level finish and piece of football there. Ball in from Trippier, not the best touch from Isaac, but the best players make it work regardless, and the ball over the top is just absolutely like on the money. And Sandro, that skill of the ball coming over your body onto your foot furthest away and being able to direct it across goal into that corner, that technique is not easy. It really, really isn't easy. Hey,
pump it up, loaded one the cup.
It's not an easy technique at all, and for him to finish like that, it's just absolutely sensational. But look, I don't expect anything else from those two boys, and throw Trippier in there linking up, because they are absolute top level technicians. They are elite footballers, and elite footballers produce goals like that. And we were just going absolutely mental, boys, weren't we, when that was going in, because we fully deserved it. We were the better team. We played the better football. It was always looking like it was going to be a matter of time that we were putting the ball in the net. We just wanted to see it happen, and when it did, it was a joy to behold. But Daz, your thoughts and feelings, your reactions, your loaded dreams when that ball went into the net. What were you thinking?
Just want to clarify for Anne there. She asked the question, so We had to answer it. No, what was I thinking? We were all jumping on top of each other, and then everyone else behind us, and as well. It was just bananas. But no, it was a great move. When you see it back, you see it in its glory. And it was early. Actually, there was a goal. Didn't Joe Linton have the ball in the net as well before that?
Yeah.
And that was ruled out for offside. I haven't seen
that was right at the start. That wasn't it? It was right at the start.
Very, very early. Yeah, but because it did take a while. No idea at the time, but it was that goal from Sandro, unreal. Let's go on to the second one not even the second one yet, because Man United do score a goal, and it's Garnacho. Garnacho did get one back for Man United, which brought it to half time really, and it was 1-1. Some people getting a bit twitchy then. I knew well that this was only a matter of time. We come knocking on the door. It's all these goals are going to be coming down our end of the stadium where we were. But hands up, anyone that might was a bit nervous.
I was a little bit nervous.
That's a hand, Pete, as well.
Oh, it's a hand behind the trophy. I was a touch there, and the reason I was a touch nervous, and I think as Newcastle fans, we not all of us obviously, but a lot of us will suffer with this, because we know that we do, or we certainly used to have a tendency of shooting ourselves in the foot, because at half time we deserved to go in the lead, and we didn't, and that was probably the first. For me, anyway, the first meaningful attack that Man United had in that first half, and they obviously put it away. So I was a little bit nervous, because I was just thinking, we've won the cup, we need to win. We need to win this game as well. So maybe it was the pressure. I don't know, but I believed we were going to win. Don't get me wrong, but you know where you just got that little doubt in the back of your mind, and you just think, oh, come out good second half. You know, really give it to them second half, and thankfully we did. But yeah, you always I had that little bit of doubt, I must admit.
The doubt, not the doubt. It was for me. It was frustration. I think I said it to you, Daz, at half time, because I think you guys had gone back inside, and then I stayed out, and you came back.
Chris went shopping.
Yeah, again.
Oh.
But we were just chatting, Daz, and I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I didn't think we deserved to go in at halftime drawing. I thought we were well worthy of being up 1-2-0 at that point. So to go in 1-1, I'm just like, oh. And the reason why I felt like that is because I just know what Man United are like sometimes, is that they don't necessarily play well, but they just manage to shit out themselves like a win or a goal from somewhere. And you know what, in the second half it nearly happened. I know you're going to get to it, Daz, but that was the bit that I was worried about. I wasn't worried about Newcastle United. I knew we were going to continue to put the press on them, to continue to push for that goal, especially going the Gallagher second half. But I was just worried about, are they going to shit out something? Are they really going to just get something from today when they don't deserve it? And that was my worry. But thankfully, and I know, Dad, you're going to talk about it very shortly, that it didn't last. My frustration didn't last too long.
No, that is for sure, Pete, because, we did get into it. And again, I have no idea concept of time, because I need to watch the full game back to get all the time slots and everything, or look at the time slots somewhere on the website. But I haven't got a chance for that either. But thinking back, so it's Livramento who makes a break down the left, if I remember correctly. He puts a ball across, kind of goes across the goal. Murphy does well to kind of keep it in and recover it, and swings it back in again across the face of the goal. And who is there? Only Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes. Barnes will tear you apart again. I love that tune.
I'm just going to put this on the screen just because Seb, big up to Seb, big supporter of the channel, and a great guy, super knowledgeable on Newcastle United as well. I said, Pete, talk about the Barnes-Gordon discussion we've been having. I'll be honest, there's a few of us in the Magstar Snapchat. We've been going at this all day, so I will bring it up. once we get to like sort of like questions and stuff. Because there's a question I want to ask you boys and people in the chat about this, and we'll get maybe a discussion going. But big up to Seb on that, top man.
Well, just on that, because we had another discussion at halftime, people, where you spotted it. You spotted that Gordon was limping a bit in the warm up, and then we're thinking, oh, he's not going to be able to come on, because we're thinking, does he switch it or does he take off Murphy and push what they did do eventually, and put Barnes on the right, but he did pick it up a bit then towards the end of the halftime warm up, but there was no ill effects shown when he actually took the pitch, Gordon, because he was sprinting on everything. But there was some question marks.
I was going to say that I think at one point we both looked at each other. We were like, "Is he going to go back down the tunnel? Like, is he?" He looked at one point. He looked done. He was on his knees. He was kept going down on his knees, and he was like kind of stretching out like his legs, and he like you said, he was hobbling. And the one of the staff members, one of the trainers, he was doing other bits with the other players and kept going over to Gordon and checking he was all right. And he kept shaking his head and we were thinking, oh, there's a problem here. And then all of a sudden, like, because him and Wilson were like knocking the ball to each other, all of a sudden he's like playing the ball to to Wilson, and then he seemed okay again. And then he went for a run in the second half, like down the side, and he looked a little bit better, but it was a bit of a worry at that point. I know we were both worried about that because it just didn't seem right at all.
But let's get to that goal. So Barnes is first, our second of the day. What did you make of that one?
Well, obviously, as you both know, I missed it. I missed it, which is customary. So I was literally just walking up the steps, and then everyone was celebrating. But I have watched it back. And I've got to say, what a brilliant piece of skill from Tino. Whether he feigns the defender and thinks, the defender thinks he's cutting in, and then he just shifts it to his left, gets to the byline, crosses it in. And then, as you say, Daz, Murphy does well to keep it in, put it back across that danger zone. And who's running in? Who reacts quickest? Harvey Barnes. Great goal. And I think all the nerves of all the worry kind of went then, because as soon as we took that lead, it was like, let's go and get some more now. So I thought I knew it was going to be our day. I knew it was going to be our day when Harvey Barnes made the 2-1. But great goal, and again another example of a good team goal with a few players involved, and it was a really clever finish in the end.
Pete, what about that ball in from Murphy?
Murphy at it again. Not tried it yet, William. Not tried it yet. We will put it in there at some point. Don't worry, we'll make sure it's all clean and shiny, ready for Daz and Chris to do their worst with it. Maybe some gentleman's jack.
I was looking at it. I nearly bought it today.
Gentleman jack.
Lovely that. In this bad boy. Let's wait and see. Smooth.
Lovely.
Your boy's little tipple over the weekend. But it was a brilliant goal. Like you said, Chris, like Tino down the left-hand side. I think it was Dallo that he was up against. Just left them for dead. Great ball in. You know what? For a lad that we were talking about against West Ham, they were saying, use your left foot, get the ball into the box. Yeah, you're not doing it now. Fair play to him. He must have been listening to the loaded boys on our West Ham reaction. He's certainly doing the business now down there. But Murphy being at the back post again, putting it back across goal. And you know what I loved about Harvey Barnes? He makes that type of run all the time. He's not just wingers tend to just stick at the back post and wait for something to drop. He makes those. It's like it's a striker's run effectively. He makes that striker's run into the middle to get on the end of it, and he gets there, left-footed finish into the goal. And at that point, I talked about frustrations at half time. Frustrations were gone. At that point, boys, for me, I was like, we're not letting this slip now. We are not letting this slip this time. If we got that goal, it was like, okay, how many more could we get? Because it was like Man U were lucky to get back into that game. And they scored a half-decent goal. Got lucky to that. Newcastle United weren't letting it happen again. And I was just like relieved. Yes. And then we were celebrating, me, Daz jumping up and down. And I went, hold on a second. I went,
There's one missing.
where is he? And then we both looked around at the same time, and you were just at the end of the thing. It was like,
Like,
where are you?
What happened?
And then the celebrations continued.
Yeah,
I have to say, like, our where we were, our seats were a dream. And we have to big up the people behind you. I know you've just mentioned it that earlier. Big up the people behind us because it felt like an away end, because it's the first time, or maybe first or second time. I think I've done it. I think I've stood in the Gallagher before, or the Strawberry Corner. But like the fact that we were able to just stand for the whole game and the people behind us were standing, it was just be able to.
Yeah,
it just felt like an away game feel. It was. We
Shout out to that couple. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Rebecca, and I'm going to say David, but I could be totally wrong. But yeah, they were from Belfast, and I saw that they were standing, and I had a lovely wall beside me, so I just stand up as well and lean against the wall. And like, this is way better. And then he copped on as well and started standing up, so we weren't blocking anyone, so it was grand. But yeah, no, it was perfect. But let's get to that third goal. And let's get a little clip of it. Let's got a little clip of it now. Here we go. Of course,
that was our corner up there, wasn't it?
Our corner, yeah. He always turns up when we're in town, and again he scores two for us, and comes to celebrate with us. That is our corner, as you said, Chris. But look, the warnings were there. Barnes will tear you apart. But yeah, so no, that was, and of course at that time when Barnes was running through, we were shouting, "Give it to Isak! Give it to Isak!" Yeah. And if you remember from, was it last week or whenever, it was the role reversal, and Isak considered shooting, and then played it to Barnes, and it was way too late, and he was offside. But Barnes went himself that time and finished it. Great finish from Barnes. But thoughts on that one, lads?
It was the one, wasn't it? The one just went on and on and on, and we were screaming, weren't we, saying, "Give it to Isak, give it to Isak," and he puts it away. And I think I turned to one of you boys, forget which one it was, and said, if he'd have missed that, Isak would have gone mental. But you could see, obviously, when he put the ball in the back of the net, Isak was just like, okay, yeah, fair enough, he scored. But no, he did fantastically well. And I forget who said it today. Somebody wrote a little piece on it, and somebody said, you know, Barnes isn't necessarily known for his pace, and it's not to say he's slow by any stretch, but he doesn't. You don't associate Harvey Barnes with making runs like that. But it was absolutely brilliant how he did that, and you know, he literally cut right through the middle of the Man United defense. But yeah, it was a really composed finish. I thought he'd actually, when I was watching it live, I thought he'd taken it too far because the defenders were closing. But he gets his shot off just right, and he puts it at a height and an angle where the keeper's got no chance. It was a really, really smart finish, really, really good. So full credit to Harvey Barnes there, and yeah, it's his second goal of the game. And again, I know I said this earlier at 2-1, but at 3-1, you knew it was done. It was game over. It was game over then. And yeah, I was absolutely overjoyed. And then again, I know I mentioned this earlier, I then had the Keith Patterson bet on my head then, and I was thinking, oh my God, this could happen. This could happen. Because I knew there'd be more goals. Okay, there wasn't 3, but there was at least one more. But now, brilliant goal by Harvey Barnes, and well played to him.
That was odds on that were 1,000-1 or something, wasn't there? I think it was.
I think he had a tenner on it, and I think it was paying. It was paying just under $3,500. So yeah, it was pretty good odds.
I thought he said $5,000, but cool. And that didn't happen. But Pete, your thoughts on Barnes' second or third?
Stunning goal. So good. Being able to latch onto the mistake. The mistake happened because of the press. the team were pressing so well, boys. Honestly, we were pressing the hell out of Man United. They were panicking on the ball. It led to a few mistakes, not just a mistake for that goal, but a few mistakes across the pitch because we were pressing so well. And Barnes running through like that. And look, people ask the question that Barnes, he doesn't take on his man. You know, he hasn't got the pace as Gordon. He hasn't. Gordon's electric. I would call him flash. But Barnes is quick. Barnes is quick with the ball. You get some players that are just naturally quick running in a straight line. And you get players that are quick with the ball at their feet. Barnes is quick with the ball at his feet. He's quick-footed, but he's quick running with the ball. And, you know, the fact that he just goes through against 3 Man United defenders into that middle, right through the heart of their defence. And that finish, you watch that, that's a great video, Daz, that you put on there, because he literally, when he shoots, it's like the ball's going outside the post and then just whips in. The goalkeeper's never getting anything on that. It's a superb finish. That's a Barnes finish. And that is, you know, I kept saying it to you boys that whenever he scored, he's like, that's why we pay the 38 million for goals like that, because that's the type of goal that he can produce. And you know what, I'm so pleased for him. So pleased for him that he scored those 2 goals yesterday. I thought he was excellent yesterday. And that finish, it was a very, very, very good finish. Loved it from him. I think, you know, earlier on in the season, I don't think you see Harvey Barnes make a run like that with the ball at his feet. I think he probably does pass it to Isaac and go for the simple option. But I think what we're seeing now is a Harvey Barnes that's feeling a little bit more like Harvey Barnes. I think he's feeling a little bit more like himself. I think he looks confident. He looks assured in his abilities. And I think he looks assured in his place in the team playing for Newcastle United. So good on him. Really, really pleased for him. Good lad. Loves the club. Loves the area. Talks positively about all of us. And producing the business. Can't say much more than that.
Oh, and of course, it is down to Gordon to win his place back now. And Thomas Tuchel he wasn't sitting beside us, actually. He had a better spot. But he was there. Maybe it's for Jacob Murphy. Who knows? What that? Of course, Byrne as well. And then maybe a few more he's his eye on. But we weren't finished there. We're 3-1 up at this stage. But there's only one Bruno. There's only one Bruno. There's only one Bruno. Or wherever the tune goes, I don't know. But yes, Bruno got to put the icing on the cake where Joe Linton gets his head in and intercepts. And of course, then he obliges and puts the ball in the back of the net. And he started singing his own song then, pointing to himself. Bruno. Only one celebration, though, from him. I was expecting more.
Cut it down. But yeah, it was funny enough, I was watching Monday Night Football before, and Carragher was going into detail on it, and he made a really good point actually. And he was saying that the centre backs under Amorim, the centre backs push up a little bit, but the problem was the centre backs had pushed up a little bit, but Newcastle was with such a high press. All 3 of our attacking players were all right next to the likes of Lindelof and Lenny Yoro. And then their wing backs or their full backs, if you like, they were sitting really deep. So that then meant that it kept everybody on side. So because the keeper made such a terrible goal kick, as soon as Joe Linton got something on it, I think it hit the top of his head, didn't it? And then fortuitously, or whether Joe Linton meant it, I don't know. But anyway, he gets a block on the ball, and then as soon as Bruno picks it up, he was always going to score because there was a nice little bit of space for Bruno to run into, pick his spot, and the goalkeeper had no chance. But yeah, that was a really, really poor goal for Man United to concede, and it was so unnecessary. But obviously, we take it, and I'm delighted for Bruno as well. Delighted for him to get the goal because he caps yet another really, really good performance. Sometimes I think in this system, Bruno can go a little bit unnoticed at times. But he does do a hell of a lot of work off the ball, not just on the ball, but off the ball. And I know, in recent times, the likes of Tonali, the likes of Tino, the likes of Isaac, Barnes, they all get the headlines, but Bruno does such a big job for us, as does Joe Linton, very, very similar. Really, really big job for us in the middle of the park, and the three of them together are absolutely wonderful. So now it's made up for Bruno to get his goal. And yeah, Daz, I think that was the biggest surprise, wasn't it? Only the one celebration, but it was one hell of a celebration. And yeah, 4-1, game officially over. Brilliant stuff.
Pete, your thoughts on that fourth one from Bruno to close it out, to make it 4-1 in the full time, but thoughts on Bruno's goal?
Superb. I think that was the perfect goal to kind of finish it off on, because that typified everything about Newcastle United today. Dominant yesterday, sorry. Dominant, sort of bullish, and that press. We literally pressed the hell out of Man United, and they literally couldn't breathe, to the point where, as you described, Chris, we were literally planted on them, saying, "You're not passing it out today. If you want to go long, you're going to have to put it long. But if you do, Dan Burn and Shaw are going to win it all day long," which is what they did. They were excellent at the back. And so it forced them into a mistake. And someone in the chat just put it was a lovely cushioned header into Bruno, and Bruno with a really smart finish to end the game. I'm not going to lie. I counted 3 celebrations from Bruno. Yeah, because I saw Bruno running off, and he was the celebration where he's pointing to the badge. In fact, he points to the badge as one, then he kisses the badge constantly, then he turns around and does the Bruno on the back, and then after that, he's a what the hell's going on?
That's a new one.
Brilliant. A cloud over your head.
Was it that?
Do that. Do this action.
Or was it that? Yeah, it was that.
I've got no idea. He probably won't do it now. I've no idea.
Do it in 5 minutes.
It's normally balloons with the 2.
Yeah.
We'll do that and pop up with something in a second. But yeah, and then he goes on his knees and does the hands up like celebration after that. So there was 3 or 4 in there.
He merged them in.
Well, to tell you the truth, we were all hugging each other. We were hugging the people behind us.
Yeah.
We're all over the shop at this stage. So I have to watch the full game back. And I look forward to doing that. God, jeez, we have another game on Wednesday though. But look at that. That's where we were. 4-1 final score. You haven't had any trouble contacting me today, lads, have you? Just because I haven't got a message from my Liverpool or Man United friends for the last month. So I don't know. There must be something wrong. No idea why they can't get through to me. But I'll come looking again. Don't you worry. But that's where we left. 4-1. Cue the team photo. Boom. First time looking at this.
Yeah, I've not seen this.
And of course, we saw that at the end of the game, we went talking to Liam Kennedy as well, and we saw the few of the lads that were subs getting a few more minutes on the pitch. You see some of them there as well. Cool, nice one.
We saw Blacademos, didn't we? After the game,
we did. Yeah,
we hadn't seen Liam and Jordan in the lot, and the boys calling down afterwards. Blacademos with his little one. Is Botman in there? Can you see Botman?
He was at the game because I saw a picture of him at the game.
Don't think Willick.
He was wearing beige.
I can see.
No, I don't see him.
Any others? No, that's fine. I wonder if he's back soon, because they said like
Willick's there, isn't he?
Yeah. I wonder. Do you reckon Willick's back for Wednesday? Not sure.
Well, he's there in the picture. You can see him there for Blacademos over a bit from him, the hat on.
That'd be a welcome boost, getting him back in the squad for Wednesday.
It was.
Yeah. Fresh legs.
And then Botman, potentially by the end of April, early May. Big boost.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere else, lads, put it in the private chat, but Dave Bullman, super chat.
Cheers, Dave.
Cheers, Dave.
Always prioritise super chats. Put them straight in. So any super chats, feel free to put them in. We're going to go to some questions, so and we'll fire some through. So make sure you get super chats in. Buzzing, lads. No team I would rather beat. Congrats on the cup. Membership renewal didn't go out today. Bank card was blocked due to card compromise. We're back as a member in a few days. No problem.
No problem. This is for loaded. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it, Dave. You'll sort it out. Don't worry about it.
I hope everything bank related is sorted as well. I know I know a few people that have been for various different reasons been affected by that. So protect your bank details and all the rest of it, because it's obviously rife at the moment. So yeah, hopefully you all get sorted, mate. But top man, thank you.
Cool. Nice one, Dave. Let's go quickly to the table, because the results did go our way. Actually, I never mentioned the Keegan display as well. Keegan display was pretty impressive. I didn't have room in the system for all the pictures of it, but it was like all on the war flags again, as usual. Never disappoint. Absolutely amazing. But this was the table. Yes, results we did go our way, and we are up to 4th, and we have a game in hand. Look at us there, right beside Nottingham Forest, eh?
Ooh.
Nice. And a game in hand over Man City as well, over everyone. And you see in that picture. I only grabbed from 1 to 7 there, and I know there's a game ongoing at the moment, or maybe it's ended now at this stage. But Bournemouth, Fulham. But yeah, this is where we stand after 31 games, 56 points, another win, 4 now in the league in a row, and with Crystal Palace on Wednesday. And Tom Dixon is in straight away.
Yeah, Tom's right in there. Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, go on, Pete. Go
for it, Chris. Go for it, mate.
No, I was just going to say, mate. Like, I was saying to you boys, wasn't I? Like, I still cannot quite believe we're in a position where if we win on Wednesday, we're gonna be in third outright. It's scary. Like, it's been such a great run that we've been on, and I think we were all a little bit nervous, weren't we, after the Carabao, whether or not, we could kick on, whether, celebrations would bring us to a halt a little bit, which would be understandable given that, all the efforts that the players put in. And similarly as well, we didn't know we were going to win the Carabao Cup, obviously. And then there was concern before the Carabao Cup, if we were to lose quite comfortably, would heads go down? Would we not be fully focused? But the players have been absolutely outstanding. And to be in this position as we are right now, it's just brilliant. And we can see the light, boys. We're really not that far away. Once Wednesday, if we get the 3 points on Wednesday, there's 6 more cup finals, and just pick up as many points as we possibly can. And spoiler for anyone who didn't see Monday Night Football earlier, Jamie Carragher has said, which I think he said through gritted teeth, he said it's looking almost a certainty that Newcastle finish in the top 5. And that's some achievement, boys. If somebody offered us that at the start of the season, Champions League football and a trophy, and
it's usually, Chris, it's usually the question: what would you rather, a trophy or get into Champions League? Yeah, but you could potentially have both. The dream scenario.
Oh, mate.
Absolutely. There's an argument there for another time that it could be the best season that we've had. Certainly in our lifetimes, but probably ever as a club. If we can secure, potentially finishing 3rd and a trophy in the same season, it's a Champions League and a trophy. It could be just unbelievable. Special stuff, lads. We're experiencing special times as a Newcastle United fans of this great club, and enjoying every moment. And someone put in the chat earlier, that's get on the Champions League music, put it on. But that was the question that was posed to you. But I wouldn't be against it, mate. I'm not going to lie. The way I'm feeling right now, I would not be against it.
I usually get it on stick when you play that. I don't care anymore. It soothes you to sleep, this music, doesn't it? It's just I don't know what it is. There we are. Why did we not think of that earlier? We could have played that from the start. But stop it now. Stop it.
Oh God.
It's good. It feels good.
Hopefully.
I've got a question for you boys.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, and it's linked to a few other things, but I'll try and find it really quickly. Sebastian, the Seb says, please talk about the Barnes-Gordon discussion we've been having all day in the group. So lots of talk, obviously, Barnes with his man of the match performance against Man United, obviously come in for Gordon when he got his red card. What do you make of this situation with Barnes and Gordon? Because there's some people that are saying Barnes is a bench player. He'll never be first choice. Gordon's going to be the first choice guy. I'll be honest with you. I'll set my stall out. I've made it clear, and I've said it to you boys before. I don't think Gordon's had a great season, in my opinion. I don't think he has. I think I expected better from him after having a superb, sensational last season. I think he's got it all to do, particularly with a red card, missing the final. He's now got his place to win back. I don't think it's a shoo-in that he walks back into the team. I think Barnes is the first choice left winger right now, and Gordon's got it all to do to get back in this team because of the way he lost his place in the first place. That's how I set it out. Some of the boys felt differently. I think the likes of Seb felt he needs to come back straight back into the team, meaning Gordon, as Harry was very similar. Fumby, classic Fumby, pre-Gordon. Fumby was a little bit on the fence with it all, but then because of my staunch defense of Barnes, I think he tipped his side to Gordon in the end. So we were going back and forth earlier on this afternoon. So where do you see this Barnes-Gordon situation? You might well see it differently to anyone that's had an opinion on this. And people in the chat, feel free to put your opinions on this as well. I know a few things have, but go for it. Lads, what do you think Barnes and Gordon, the situation?
Chris, you go first.
Go on then, mate. So for me, I'm dealing with it in different places at a time. So as things stand right now, for me, it's Barnes' share to lose. Like for me, Barnes has done more than enough to be classed as the first choice left winger at the moment, and I think it will stay like that up until Barnes either gets tired, he's rested, or he's a little bit out of form, and then I think Gordon comes in. So Gordon's got to win his place back, is what I'd say. You'll remember, Pete, when we were walking down the little hill, towards Chinatown, we were having a little discussion about this, weren't we? And we were saying that it may change the summer plans, it may not, but it's only going to be good for Harvey Barnes, this situation for me, because he's got his confidence back. He's playing incredibly well. I mean, if you were to ask me who I think will start as the first choice left winger next season, I would say Gordon. But that will all depend on, obviously, it'll depend on the preseason, but it will also depend as well on these last 6 games, or last 7 games, should I say. Because if Harvey Barnes really, continues at this level, at this trajectory, then it could be that Gordon struggles to find his way back in. What I would throw in is that maybe a caveat is perhaps, Jacob Murphy will be looking at this and getting a little bit nervous, because we saw, didn't we, when Gordon did come on, that Barnes shifted out to the right. So, Jacob Murphy has got to be on his toes as well, because we know that either Barnes or Gordon can play on the right. We know they both predominantly want to play on the left, but that isn't a given for Jacob Murphy. Obviously, he's got to keep his levels up as well. But it's great to be having this conversation. It's great to have these options, because so often, it's been like, you remember back in the Bruce days, it was like St. Maximin. And if St. Maximin's not fit, we're in massive trouble. Now we're talking about 2 very, very, very high level left wingers, and that's absolutely brilliant. And just imagine, boys, come next season when we bring in another high level right winger, and we're talking Murphy, the new right winger, Barnes, Gordon, all these options. It's only going to help the squad and the team as a whole. So for me, as things stand, it's Barnes' shirt. It's his to lose. Gordon will have to earn his right to get back in. But that's not to say that I still believe Gordon will start the season as the first choice left winger. And what I will say as well, I'm not completely ruling out Barnes still being an option for, cash. I'm not ruling out Barnes with us cashing in on Barnes in the summer. Now, the form that he's showing, and if we get Champions League football, my preference would obviously be to keep hold of him. But there could be other clubs out there looking at Harvey Barnes and the form that he's in right now. And if he continues that from now to the end of the season, it's only going to raise that price. And if someone was to come in with a bid and we go, well, we pay 38 million for him, the form that he's in, if someone was to come in with, say, 45, 50 million, I still do believe that the club would look at it and think, you know what, that's really, really good money. But Harvey Barnes is playing fantastically well. I'm really enjoying his form. He's been brilliant. So I'm certainly not trying to push him out the door. But I think let's see this season out. But at the moment, it's Harvey Barnes' share to lose.
That's we had this topic about, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago. It was less than 3 weeks ago though, and I initially said Gordon should come straight back in, and then a day or so later, I changed my mind and said that. Cheers, Botsy.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome everyone coming from 12th Man, by the way, as well. So welcome. But yeah, and then I changed my mind, and it is Barnes. Barnes is playing absolutely class, and it would be like what Chris is saying. It would be a disservice to Barnes to just take him out and bring let's slot Gordon back in, but because Barnes has been playing so well for us, and he's contributed when we needed him, because Gordon did let us down a bit by getting sent off. And I agree with you're saying, Pete, that he hasn't had the best season comparing him to last season. If his peak is last season, he has to get back to that again. But yeah, for me, Barnes stays in the team. The place is his to lose. Well, when he did go out to the right, he nearly got a third. He was playing so well that he could have potentially got in again. He was absolutely on fire then. I mean, he flicked it over someone's head, and he was they took him out at one point. But so I didn't give him man of the match. I gave them Tonali the man of the match for me, but Barnes was a close second. In that game, along with Byrne. I thought Byrne was class as well, getting his head on everything. But yeah, sticking with Barnes, and he's a great player to have in our squad going into next season, if not start.
Totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how we go along. I'm not convinced that Barnes is going to leave in the summer. Particularly if he carries on the form that he does, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Just because we're going to need to build a European squad, and I think someone that can score goals like Barnes is going to be is going to be irreplaceable. But lots of different opinions in the chat. Barnes has more goals than ASM with 62 less games played. That was a stat that was running around today. Barnes just earned his spot. Ali says Gordon needs to earn his way back. Genie Esther says he doesn't think Gordon is 100% fit. Jordan Team for Life, you don't drop a player who's scored 3 goals in the last 2 games. Mad Dog won't change anything for Wednesday. There's lots of different other opinions. Genie Esther says Tino and Barnes have struck up a lovely partnership down the left. Dave says Gordon's been inconsistent, not a good look for players. If Barnes comes out, he deserves to keep his place. This is the thing, it's about competition for places. This is no disrespect to Gordon. This is part of the conversation, because I know you need to shoot, Chris, but this is part of the conversation I was saying to the lads today when we were talking about it, is that I'm not bashing Gordon here. This is not a Gordon bashing situation. I love Anthony Gordon. I love what he brings. I love the fact that Barnes brings something different, actually. But what it is that you want competition for places. You don't want people waltzing back into the team when they're not ready and they're not playing well enough. We had Barnes that was scoring goals at the beginning of the season, but we just shoehorned Gordon back into the team unfit. We can't do that this time. He needs to earn his spot. He needs to earn his fitness. He needs to earn his way back into this team. And if Barnes is continuing to play well and scoring goals and assisting and looking good, doing it, why not continue with that and give Gordon the kick up the backside that he needs? You got sent off. You lost 3 games. Like you were missing for 3 games. Yeah. Like you've got to earn your way back into the team now.
It's the likes of Thomas Tuchel coming to check on Newcastle players will give Barnes the kick, give Gordon the kick up the arse he needs as well, because he needs for not only for Newcastle but for himself and for to get into that England squad. He needs to prove himself again.
Just to throw a little bomb in before I go, boys. And it just something that you said then, Pete, about obviously wanting to keep older Barnes, for European football, which we've guaranteed we're going to be in the Europa Conference no matter what happens next season. But, potentially if we get Champions League. Do you think that there's an argument that Harvey Barnes may have played his way out of a transfer in terms of Newcastle? If you'd have asked 6 weeks ago, or if somebody would have came in 6 weeks ago and said, we'll give you 35 million for Harvey Barnes, or maybe longer than 6 weeks ago, we might have pressed the reset button and gone, yeah, okay, we're getting the majority of our money back, brilliant. Now, it feels like a different conversation, doesn't it? Because you're not going to accept 35 million for Harvey Barnes when you paid 38 for him and he's in the form that he's in. You're just not. So you could argue, couldn't you, that he's played his way out of getting a move, because if someone came in for Harvey Barnes, I think the club wouldn't entertain anything below 45, 50 million. I genuinely don't think they would, because he's a decent age, isn't he? Is he about 27, Harvey Barnes?
27, 28, I think.
Yeah.
Soon to be 28, maybe.
So they'll have to look at that, Chris, as a whole, not just the peaks and the lows, the highs and the lows. They'd have to look at that and make a strategic decision of what direction they want to go as well. So there's a lot of factors and variables that will come into a decision like that. First of all, there'd have to be a bid, but it is kind of down to Harvey Barnes as well, whether he'd want to stay, because he knows whatever happens, he's going to be up against Gordon, unless one of them was to move at any one stage, or he's up against Murphy, and that new right winger that we're going to definitely have to bring in this summer.
I think it's a great question you've asked, and I think my answer to this would be yes. I think he's played himself out of a move to another club. I mean, I think you should put that in the chat. Someone put in about Mike Gaines put possible Barnes plus cash for Cunha. Barnes isn't going to Wolves. Barnes is better than Wolves, with all due respect. Sorry, little dad, if you're watching this, but Barnes is better than Wolves. Barnes can play. If Barnes goes, Barnes leaves for another team in our pool of. Oh God, whacking my glasses off. Barnes will play in this pool of teams that are fighting for European football. That's how good Harvey Barnes is. So he won't drop down to a team like bottom half of the Premier League, anything like that, as it currently stands. Wolves could have a good season next season, but as it stands, I don't think that happens. What I will say is that Harvey Barnes has really only been asking for a chance. He's not really had a chance in this team since he signed. He hasn't really, like, the injury for 5 months, 6 months, like, destroyed his opportunities when there was injuries and all the rest of it around the team. Then Gordon was playing really, really well. Then he was literally shoehorned out the team because Gordon was pushed back in. All he's asking for is a chance, is to get regular football and show what it's all about. So in the whole nearly 2 years he's been at Newcastle United, this is the only period where he's been told, you're the man, you're the left winger, you're going to start every week. That's the only time he's ever been told that. And now you're seeing what he's producing with confidence, with ability. He's not Gordon. He's not going to run all day for you. He's not got like lightning fast speed. But what he does, he's a finisher. What he does, he creates moments. He's able to play inside, outside. He can make attacking striker runs. He's one of the lads in the chat in the Jordan Star South chat was talking about him almost being a second striker. And Skeeto was mentioning today, he almost plays as a second striker. He can do that role.
He swaps with Isak the odd time as well.
Exactly. I was just literally about to say that. I think his relationship with Isak is really good. I think they've got a connection there, a really unique connection. I think they've got a better connection than Isak and Gordon have. I think there's an understanding there of movement and like just positional play that's different. I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's different, and I like that it's different. We've got something that offers something a little bit different to our team, and that's what the best clubs and the best teams have. Like that's what it's all about. So for me, I do think he's played himself out of a move. I do think he'll be at Newcastle United. He's going to get plenty of football next season, playing European football, whatever competition we're in. And I think only a bid of something ridiculous over what we paid for him is going to get that deal done. So I think it's a great question.
And look, the opposition fans or players don't know what's going to come at them, whether it's Gordon and his style of play, whether it's Barnes, whether it's Murphy, whether it's Barnes there as well, and next season whether it's their new right winger as well. So there's a lot of permutations. Or else throw in Will Asula as well into the mix and just see what happens. Boom.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of other questions I just want to throw out there, but I don't know, Chrissy. I don't know if you might have to. Are you all right to hold on for a minute or two?
Yeah, I've got a couple of minutes, mate.
Okay,
quick fire.
Right, let's go for it. Right, there's one question from Tom Dixon, but I'm going to hold that just for a second. Let's go through. Okay, Bill Ashby says 2-2 evening all question. If, and it's a big if, we finish third in the league and with the cup, is it our greatest Premier League season ever? Just a quick yes or no from you guys.
Yes.
Excellent. Right, moving on. Mike Gaten says, question, do you think we'll beat our 71 points from 22-23 season when we finished fourth? Currently on 56.
Okay.
Could be on 59, 62 by the end of Saturday evening. Just throw it out there.
Not thought about it, Mike. I don't do the calculations until later. It's probably getting close to the time where I have to start doing the calculations, but still haven't thought about points totals.
So if we beat Palace on Wednesday, we go on 59, and then there's 18 possible points left. It's going to be close. Do we beat it? I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think we'll be around there.
She telling us there's a chance.
Yeah. I'm not ruling it out.
There we go. That's all we needed to hear. Random question, Conrad. Should Murphy get the Ballon d'Or nomination? 10 assists from open play equals Laurent Robert's record. Having something. I think I threw this stat out to you boys yesterday. I think Laurent Robert got 11 in what season, Chris?
It was mate. I was
Were you listening?
Wasn't I? It was 02-03.
There we go. Good man.
I said 01 02, everyone, and then Pete corrected me. It was 1 year.
The last review show we had Murphy with the Ballon d'Or. So
nice. But yeah, I think he's one away from equaling Robert. But yeah, I think he's the highest since Robert. Or it might be equal in the Premier League, but I think Robert got 11 overall. So it could well be right in what he said. Question for you guys. Why do these Prem teams insist on playing from the back against us? Probably one of the best pressing teams in Europe. Do you think we are the best pressing team in Europe? Quick responses, boys. What do you think?
yes.
I will say one of the best pressing teams in Europe. But it's a great question, Zane, as you said, because genuinely, how many times have we said this, boys? Why do teams play like that against us? Don't understand it.
Yeah.
Don't get it. I mean, Man United, the fact that we had 3 waiting, and I mean, I know it was a mistake. You know, he kicked it out, and then it went straight to Joe Linton. But it's just crazy how certain teams, they're just like, oh, just go, this is the way we play. We're going to play, and you're like, adapt your game. because you're playing into our hands. It's crazy.
The keeper kept falling his ass as well. He was under so much pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting one for maybe a discussion another day, boys. There is internet rumors that Wilson's going to get a 2-year contract.
Good night, Nabby.
Yeah,
Good night.
I think it's the account Will NUFC has reported that Wilson is going to be extended by another 2 years. Look, I'll just put this out there really quickly, boys. We can maybe discuss this another day. I think if he does sign a new deal, it's not.
I know what you're going to say.
What do you think I'm going to say? Go for it.
You're going to say if it's a 2-year deal, it's so that we can sell him.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, well, you're not going to say that. Oh, sorry, go on, Pete. Sorry, go on.
No, that's a good shout there. All I was going to say is that I think that Wilson will sign a contract extension if he does for being third choice. I think Asula goes on loan, Wilson goes third choice, and then we get a second striker in.
Yeah,
if that was to happen, I'm not against it. But let's see if it happens first.
That's a 2-year contract. Does that include a year or a year and a half working in Stack? Because that should do, if that's the case. There's no way we should have Wilson next season. No, sorry, he's done. Afraid he could still get another goal for us, maybe before the end of the season, but that's about it.
Yeah,
one.
No, I think it's a fair point. I've got 2 more questions, lads. One, when's the parade?
You need to organise
it. It was pretty weird. We already did a tour. If anyone saw us walking around Newcastle with a trophy, or who's that mad group, so that we did that last night. But yeah, parade. Got that.
I've added a 3-second question in. I'm going to throw this to you, Daz. Has that you yet?
No, we're open. This weekend.
We didn't get to the tattoo parlor, did we? We didn't get time. No.
Has Tom got his? Tom was committed, and it was a loaded mag in UFC tattoo.
To be fair, the season hasn't finished. So
well, interesting. Tom comes up with the last question. Newcastle Palace, Villa, Ipswich, Brighton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton. How many points?
11.
So out of a possible 21?
21. I don't know. We're just on such a roll. Look, and I know it's a bit crazy, but like it's going to be a difficult game against Palace. At Villa Park, it's going to be a difficult game. I think we should beat Ipswich, but Brighton are bogey team. Chelsea, you don't know what you're going to get, and then they're drawn against. Arsenal seems to be giving up on everything, especially if they're still in the Champions League. Why would they care about playing us? And they may lose second spot to where they're going. If it was got that far, bad for them. And Everton, a danger team there. They're on the fire. It's the last game of the season. So that's why I'm saying we have the possibility to win them all. I don't want to rule any missed dropped points out.
Pete, you?
I'm going to say, looking at that, 3, 6, 9, 12. I think there's 13 more points in there. I'm not going to tell you where they come from, but I think there's 13 more points that we can secure. We can secure Champions League football. So, saying that point, Z says, when's Greenwood coming on? He'll be on. Don't worry about that. Johnny Greenwood will be coming on at some point. So we've got that out of the way. And going back to the previous question, Daz, because we're going to get 13 points, I believe, that for me secures Champions League football. So let's stop messing around. Questions done. Let's get that music on and let's go celebrate our evenings with our family.
Right, I have to dig it out again. Here it is. Boom. Good night, everyone. Thank you for watching Loaded. Make sure to smash that like button on the way out. Loaded Mag NUFC, home of the champions. This one's for you, Eddie Howe. Good night, everyone.
Drink it.